So at this point, you can decide whether to use the stencils or the decals. If you use the decals like I'm doing here, you're going to paint over top of them and then remove them to expose whatever the background color is. If you use the stencils, then you're going to apply them over top of whatever background color and you're going to paint them something else. So your letters will be whatever color you choose. It's up to you to decide. We just decided to give you both choices. So we've got our gingham paper. We've got some cardboard construction paper because this paper is very thin. So what I am going to do first is create sort of my own. I'm going to use one of my blocks. And I just want to get an idea for the size of a bunny ear. I'm going to make my own bunny ear. Kind of a teardrop, but kind of like that. So then I'm going to trace it onto the pink gingham. I'm going to need 6 bunny ears and 6 pink ginghams. So I'm going to do 3 of them this way. I might be able to get them all on one piece of gingham. 3 of them facing this way. And then I'm going to flip it the other way around and do 3 that way since it'll be leaning the other way. So at the same time, I'm going to cut 2 more going this way. Flip it over and do 3 that way. 1, 2, 3. I have my hot glue going. Hopefully my battery will last while I cut these all out. So in the end, my nails would cooperate here. You'll be able to overlap them kind of like that. And it really doesn't matter if you flip it around. The paper's the only one that really matters if you flip it around because it's only printed on one side. The construction paper, you could do them all, or the cardboard, you could do them all the same direction because you can flip it over. I wasn't thinking to tell you that. It's Friday and my brain is fried. Friday, brain fry. Okay, so I got all my pieces. I'll cut all these pieces. Then I'm going to end up gluing these right onto the construction paper. And I'll do one and then I'll speed it up. And they don't have to be perfect because we're going to be outlining it with twine. So it'll hide any imperfections. Oh, there's one more. So I'm just using a glue stick, but I'm going to glue this paper on. Now again, if you have some thick, heavy cardstock, by all means, or a different pattern that you want to use, by all means, use that instead. I'm just going to cover these all up. With a plain old glue stick. I did the wrong side, didn't I? And I don't have another paper for that one. So I gotta, let me see if I can wipe that off a little so it doesn't stick to the table. Let's do the right side. I have more trouble with my fingers than anything else with my nails. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, not cut 6 pieces? I thought I did. But my piece disappeared, didn't it? All right, well, I'll do another one. This stuff is just hopping all over the place. Ha ha ha. All right, I'm going to wipe this little bit of glue up. I'll get my 3 pairs of ears ready. Now I'm going to do one set with the wire, and then like I said, I'll speed it up a little bit. So you're going to do each ear separately. I'm going to put a bead of glue down this right side. I'm going to start a little bit below it, form it, and hold it in place. Then I'm going to put my finger there to try to form the point to wrap it around this side. Get some glue underneath there. So I'm going to see a little bit of that glue, but from a distance you're not going to see it. And I'll trim this off. Best to use wire cutters, but mine are MIA right this moment. So use an old pair of scissors if you don't have any. So I have a little bit of excess, just in case I want to use that to attach to the back. And then my second one, do I have enough with this? I think I do, but it's not going to be enough to overlap. So I'll get this one done. one side. Okay. So now when you put them together, your little bunny ears are going to overlap away from each other. And then you can play with how much you want them apart. So each one might be just a little bit different. But I'm going to use that excess twine that I let hang down, that excess wire. I'm going to let that allow me to glue these on. So I'm going to put glue on that piece, glue on that piece. And I'm going to pick a spot and press that one on. Same thing with the other one. I'm going to put it a little bit closer. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down here so that when they overlap, there's some glue on the overlap. Just be careful with your fingers. You can always come back in and put some glue over the wire as well. So there's his little ears. And then I'm going to take my little sprigs of greenery and I'm just going to cut the end off so it fits in there a little better. There's a little bit of a gap that I think I can wedge down into, or I could just lay them flat on top and glue them in. So that's going to kind of help take care of the depth so it doesn't feel like the ears are so far back. And I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to play with some of the little things that I have, the twine that I have available as well. So let's say I layer a couple of pieces of green in there. Let's say I take a piece of my twine and because I think I like the idea of tying a little bow with the twine, but leaving some of it hang down. So I just tie a little bow like I'm tying my shoes, evening it up a little bit. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to throw some glue in here. Get my greens on there first. Just make sure they're in the glue. And then I'm going to tuck this little bow in very carefully because I like those little stringies hanging down. I'm going to tuck that bow in, and then I'm going to tuck this bow. I think there's enough glue there that I can tuck that on top. And that way the little stringies can hang down. I like that look. Kind of like, I don't know, softens up the wood a little bit. So you could do that with multiple pieces of twine if you wanted. You could put a couple little bows or make your bow bigger so it doesn't hang down quite as far. But that's kind of the same look I'm going to go for the other ones as well. So I'll speed it up to do my other ones. Okay, for the final portion of this, I am going to use wood glue. You can use hot glue, but just know that if you store it somewhere where the temperature is going to change a lot, it is likely that they might pull apart. So I'm going to use wood glue. I'm going to put my H and my P on the smaller one. So I'm going to make sure I do it right. I'm going to just put a bead of glue around there, center it as best I can. Should be just thick enough to cover the whole top. I'll do my H. This one is just a little bit bigger, so I just try to get it in the middle. Kind of hard to put something on the top to keep it weighted down. Now, these, you're probably going to want to put these somewhere where you're not going to see the back. They're not intended to be reversible, and you're going to want to just, you know, take care of them. They're a little delicate in terms of storage, but these will look super cute with our little fuzzy bunny as well.